All right, so as you guys know, I am here with Angelina from Angelina Travels. How are you doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
I am pretty good under the circumstances. I'm really happy that I get to hang out with one of my really good friends virtually. Okay, so I'm starting each episode with the same question. And I did not tell you what this question was prior to because I want you to really be surprised. It's super serious. I'm just kidding. So I want to know what show on Netflix or Hulu or whatever streaming service you would not be able to get through all of this without. Like, what's your show that you're living for right now?
Luckily, Ozark just came out. I don't know if you watched it, but
Yes.
I try to limit myself 1 or 2 episodes a night, but that doesn't happen. We don't know how long this quarantine is gonna last, so I try to space it out. Otherwise, I'll go crazy. But I also watched a movie called The Gift. I don't know. I'm just going through Netflix and just picking. I don't really watch TV, but man, this is really tough. Like, this whole social distancing and quarantine is taking a toll. I'm sure you too. We're both the same. Like, we need to be out and about, gambling, casinos, entertainment.
Yeah, it's killing me. Okay, so Ozarks, good answer. A lot of people have been saying The Office, which I think is a pretty good one.
Okay.
It's like something you can always watch, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you brought up gambling. So I'm wondering if you would be interested in doing a little side bet for charity.
Oh yeah, I'm always up for a bet. What do you think?
Okay, so here's what I think we should do. I think we should pick a friend who's in the same space as we are, Miles Points, travel blogger, rewards, whatever the heck we're called. We'll send him a similar message at the same time, him or her, of course. A similar message at the same time, and whoever they respond to first is the winner. And we get to pick a charity for, I don't know, like $25 for the loser to donate to.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. So I always play for the ASPCA.
Okay.
Because, adopt, don't shop, guys.
Yeah.
And so what is your charity going to be? Do you have one?
I'll go with Feed America.
That's a great one. Okay, awesome. Perfect. Okay, so who do you want to pick?
All right. Someone we both know. Do you know Jeff Brownson?
Yeah, good answer. Yeah, we're friends. Okay. I might have a slight advantage here because I went to Europe with him last year, but he might like you better because he says I'm a terrible person.
No.
So, okay, so let's think of what we can say to him. Maybe something that'll get his attention. Something like, hey, did you hear that crazy gossip today? Or did you hear what's going on? Something like that. Something where he has to write back what? Oh my God.
Okay, and then are we sending it at the same time? How are we doing?
Yes. Yes. Okay, so type out your question.
All right. Very simple. Very, very simple, but let's see if it works. I'm done.
Okay, I said, did you hear that bleep? ?
Ooh.
What did you say?
OMFG, have you heard? I tried to.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically, okay, so are you ready to press send?
Yeah, 3, 2, 1. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yours didn't go through?
It went through.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we will see who he responds to and which charity is getting $25.
All right, let's see how long it takes. Hopefully we can do this live. He gets back to us soon.
I think he probably will since he works on Facebook. He almost has no excuse not to write back quickly. And if he doesn't, of course, we'll take this out because we don't want anyone to know that he's not working really hard. Okay, so today, you and I text a lot, so I know what's going on in your life, and I happen to know that you are being affected. What?
I got the answer. He responded.
Oh my God, he responded to me too. Now we have to wait and.
Oh, okay.
Crap. All right, so you know what we're gonna have to do at the end? We're gonna have to see exactly what time it was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He said, just got this from you and Bethany. So he pretty much said we're both the same.
And he wrote to me, what?
Oh.
So he might have responded to me first. Well, we can ask him.
All right, well,
ask him, who did you write back first, Bethany or me? Tell him it's for a bet.
No, I don't want to take the bet, then he'll like go on your side. Let's see, he's still typing. But anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. We can wait till the end to do this. Okay. So you and I text a lot, and I happen to know that you're being affected by all of this, as many other people are, in kind of an interesting way that has a lot to do with what your like expertise is. So do you want to tell us a little bit about the travel voucher situation and all that?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, everybody had to cancel plans. I had this amazing birthday trip lined up for April for my daughter, for myself. We were going to go to Asia. We were going to Bali, India, this 2-week ordeal. I spent my whole life planning it. Well, not my whole, you put so much love and passion into these award bookings. So long story short, there were like 19 different bookings across myself, my family, and my extended family. And different award programs.
19?
Yeah, like some of them were paid flights using Ultimate Rewards points. Some of them were using like Asia Miles with Cathay Pacific, Singapore. I mean, we just used everything we had and tried to allocate the miles needed to put everything together. So when the trip started to fall apart naturally, given the circumstances, that's when I realized how much of a nightmare it is to deal with these cancellations. Some airlines were good. They canceled the flight and it was just more of like, you call, you get the refund. But other airlines, well, they're struggling for cash. So they want to hold on to that money, and they are kind of playing games, deceptive games with their passengers, to say that you're only entitled to a voucher versus a cash refund or an award redeposit without paying a fee. So it's been really interesting for me. I had to call airlines and fight with them to literally give me a refund for something that I'm entitled to. And I mean, I can go into extensive detail, but one example was I was flying on an Emirates flight, and they canceled the flight, and they said I had to pay them $91 per passenger to get cash back, or I can get a 6-month voucher for any Emirates flight. So let me tell you
that's so generous.
They were like, oh yeah, you can use this voucher before October. I was like, that sounds great. I have no plans to fly Emirates, right now. I mean, that would be great, but that's not going to work. So I filed a complaint with transportation. They responded back, sorry, it's not US. But then this morning I got an email from Emirates saying, we received your complaint and we'd love to let you know that like your refund is authorized. So it took like that level of having to formally complain to get that. So yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are in this boat. And the best thing I can say is just keep fighting. Don't accept a voucher. Don't accept anything less than a refund.
So question, I've never filed a complaint with the DOT. How long from when you filed the complaint to when you got that email was it?
It was super quick. I filed a complaint last week, and I got a response back in less than 48 hours. I was shocked because I thought they would be flooded. I thought it was one of those things where you file a complaint and you never hear anything. It just like gets lost in the wind. So I got that response back, a personalized response. And then they said, well, we can't help you, but we will forward it over to Emirates, and then they can reach out to you. And I was like, they're not gonna.
Wait, so DOT said we can't help you, but we're gonna forward this. That's really interesting. And what was the reason that they couldn't help you?
Because the departure and the ending of the trip were not in the US. It was Hong Kong and Bangkok. So I didn't know that. I thought like they just held US passengers, like they had protection for US passengers regardless of the city pairs.
Right.
But I've apparently learned that they can only protect for flights coming from the US. And so they said they're forwarding the request, and then Emirates could be in touch if they wanted to. I'm like, all right, well, that's not going to happen.
Right.
But this morning I got the email and it says, we've noted the reservation that you'll get the refund. You don't have to have a voucher. So that made my day. So.
It's funny. I wonder if, like, I understand that the DOT does not have jurisdiction there, right? But I wonder if what they're really doing is strongly urging the airlines to do the right thing, because obviously if they're not on good terms with the DOT, that could have effects for them going forward, right?
Of course. And also one thing they noted was that DOT submits complaints and it gets tallied up. So I guess having a bad record with the DOT with your airline is something that you don't want. So if they don't resolve it in a favorable way, regardless if the DOT can help, you know, the jurisdiction applies, then the airline has a negative impact from the complaint. So that could affect maybe, you know, Emirates flights from the US, or I don't know how it would really impact the airline beyond the complaint, but I was shocked, pleasantly surprised that it worked out. So.
That's awesome. You know what else is just freaking insane? They canceled your flight. Like, under any other circumstances, they cancel a flight, you get a refund. Yeah. Why does I mean, I understand what you were saying, like the whole backdrop, like there are a ton of flights canceled. They're probably struggling for cash. I get all of that, but that doesn't change the way you handle processes. And like, that's just not how life works, right?
Exactly. No, and other airlines are doing this too. Like Thai Airways canceled the flight, and they said we can give you a voucher, or you can pay us $150 to get a refund. And the flight I paid the flight. Hold on, I paid like $140 per passenger for the flight. So you're asking me to pay $150 to get $140 back. I was literally baffled. I'm like, can you please explain that math? Because it does not make sense that this would even exist. Yeah.
So they're asking you for a $10 subsidy because they're going through a hard time right now.
Yeah. So I was just beyond like confused and baffled, like that's even happening. But imagine someone who has no travel knowledge like us, and they're faced with this decision and the circumstances where they have a trip and they have to, like, oh, well, the airline says I can only get a voucher, so be it. And then that's it. Like, at least we know the rules, we know what to fight for, and hopefully this could inspire others to just continue to fight for it. So.
Absolutely. Okay, so we have our Gers. So far, you would say that Emirates and Thai were the hardest. Was there anybody else who made it particularly difficult?
Yes. So Singapore Airlines KrisFlyer program, which we're all familiar with, you don't have miles that expire. They don't have these forever miles. So when I made the reservation for the trip, I redeemed expiring miles back in November. The miles were supposed to expire in December. So I said, let me just get rid of them and I'll book it for a trip in April. So that flight got canceled too. So when I went to get my miles redeposited, they said, well, we can cancel the flight, but the miles are going to be gone. They're expired. And I said, this is like, look, it's not me trying to, you know, cancel a flight. I had to you cancel the flight. I can't fly. There's no plane taking off. So what do we do here? The agent was standing and he said, well, you know what? I can submit an appeal for you and I can call you back in like 7 days. And that was 2 weeks ago. This morning, Bethany, today's my day. This morning, I got a Singapore number. I'm like, who the hell is calling me? Sorry, who the heck is calling me from
Wait,
Singapore?
so you answered it?
I answered it, and he was like,
oh my God. Okay.
Hello, this is so-and-so, whatever his name is. Just want to let you know that I did follow up, and I was able to successfully extend your miles. So they will be going back into your account. I'm like, wow, you actually went out of your way to follow up with me when you have a million other things going on. And I appreciated the call, but the only thing is they're extending the miles until June 30th, which is still a tight window, but I can still make a redemption for later on, you know, before June 30th. So I guess I'll just have to plan another trip. But I really thought like that was at least going to the wind. That's 60,000 miles down the drain, like for something I couldn't control. So.
That's crazy. Okay, so all right, so we have 3 that weren't so easy. Have any surprised you and like earned your loyalty for life because they've been so accommodating?
I can't say that I had an easy one. I mean, even with United, which I'm top tier elite with, I had booked return flights from Mumbai, India to Newark, and obviously India is closed off, and there's no one going to India right now. So I explained to the agent I'd like to redeposit the miles, and they wanted to charge me $50 per passenger to redeposit. And it took me like—
Wait, as a top tier elite, don't you get that waived?
I'm a platinum now, but I redeemed the miles when I was a 1K. So I assumed that those ticketing rules apply, because when I called to make the redemption, they said, okay, yeah, whatever, you redeemed it at.
You're crazy.
Airlines are never on your side. So so I had to argue for 2 hours to get an agent. I literally said, like, look, I had to call all these other airlines. At the very least, I thought United would be the one to have my back. This is not going to. So they said, all right, fine. Well, but why does it have to come to the point where we have to beg and kick and scream to get that refunded?
It absolutely never should. Have you tried United's Twitter team?
Yeah, I have. I mean, they're helpful. I think airline Twitter accounts are very helpful. They're quick. You don't have to call centers. They are responsive, but they just didn't help. And I don't know if I even reached out to them beforehand, but now today they announced that all award tickets are fee-free for redeposits. So that's a positive.
It's like common sense. Also, it doesn't surprise me that United has this policy, because I think you're probably safe in assuming they're the worst of the big three when it comes to customer. I mean, I don't fly them ever. I flew them once. It was terrible. Never do it again.
Yeah.
But,
because I don't like going to JFK, so.
Right. And for me, there's that added layer of Newark, which,
headache.
No offense, but if I don't have to go to Jersey, I'm not going to Jersey unless I'm going to Atlantic City.
We need to plan a trip, by the way.
Oh my gosh. And the Borgata is like throwing money at everybody. So, hopefully we get to go while they're still throwing money at us.
That sounds great.
And we'll have like a bunch of match plays and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have found that, and I've only had to cancel so far domestic tickets. The reason for that being is because I'm really lazy, and I do every single one of my flight bookings, like usually week of, or like 1 to 2 days before. So I got really, really, really lucky for the first time in my life being a procrastinator. So that worked out like really well, and it usually doesn't. So I have found that Delta and JetBlue were like incredible. Delta, all I had to do was message the Twitter team, and that was the end of it. And for JetBlue, they sent me an email saying, would you like to cancel this flight and get your miles back? I was like, I love you guys. I just love you.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, by the way, you totally won. I have to make a donation.
I won?
Yeah, he said, I got her message first, so I messaged her first.
Yes!
That's good.
I win! Yay! ASPCA.
Wait, I have to make a donation, right?
Yes, you have to make $25 donation to ASPCA.
Oh, perfect. Money coming your way.
I love it. I'm so happy. Actually, and for the next one, I'll switch to my favorite local dog rescue, which is East Coast Canine Rescue, for everybody just, out there looking to help. So you said something interesting before about your expiring miles.
Yes.
Basically that, they were expiring, so you wanted to use them. And this is actually a conversation you and I have had, kind of talking about like the potential of cashing out miles.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's also sort of an interesting, like there's a lot of current programs that in the last couple of weeks have come out and stopped allowing their miles to be used for non-travel redemptions.
That is true. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about that, and like what, which airline or hotel points do you think are going to be devalued, and like what would be your strategy, or are there any considerations that you're thinking about?
Yeah, I think that the industry in general is taking a huge hit. We're seeing it before our eyes, and I would be most concerned with these foreign carriers. Like for me, I have so many miles now with Cathay Pacific, Asia Miles.
Oh, okay.
Over 96% of their flights, and they've already had a lot of trouble with Hong Kong protests earlier in the year, late fall last year. So there's a lot of uncertainty with that program. My strategy would be to try to use those first, whether it be on Cathay Pacific metal or even partner metal. Just so hard to even think about planning travel right now. I don't even know what next week looks like, or if we're going to be able to be out and about in 2 months. Like, when is the safe time to even plan for it? But yeah, I'm very worried about Cathay Pacific. Worried about, even like Emirates. You don't know. They're suspending all operations. Like, could that be for how long? And I don't know. What about you? Where are your miles now?
Well, so, so luckily I don't have a ton of miles with foreign carriers because I tend to collect mostly, transferable currencies, Ultimate Rewards, membership rewards, City thank you points. I don't prefer those, but I have plenty. I like to keep my airline miles with the domestic programs because they're easy to use. And I find that with all the flights I'm constantly booking, I would rather spend a couple more miles and save a little more time than the other way around. But something that I actually kind of love to do that people think is like absolutely insane is cash out miles for gift cards.
No, like, like what? Like Sephora? Oh, no, you're joking. Like,
oh, I'm not joking.
Wow.
So yesterday, I think this was yesterday, and I have a screenshot to prove it. I cashed out 250,000 Marriott points for Amazon gift cards and Marriott gift cards.
Tell me why. There has to be a method to this madness.
There is, of course. Okay, so I wanted to book the Cosmopolitan in Vegas. And I ended up getting an insane rate. I think the cash price was something like $89 a night. I'm going to do a post about it this week. And that includes tax, by the way.
That's amazing. And is it during the summer?
Yeah, it's in June.
Wow. Hopefully they're up by then. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I had a rate of 98 prior to all of this happening through the same portal. But so then I found like one for 89 and I was like, oh, well, I'm going to get $10 back each night or whatever. And the whole thing really though, is that I have so many Marriott points that I really wanted to use those for this trip, but you can't really redeem Marriott points in Vegas or pretty much any hotel's points unless it's like Caesars or Wyndham, because the hotels are a lot cheaper than your typical 5-star hotels, right? But they're always high categories in Vegas because they're considered like luxury properties. So they want 85,000 Marriott points per night to stay at Cosmo. I'm not doing that, right? So instead, how about I take 25,000 Marriott points and get a $100 Bonvoy gift card that I can use at Cosmo. So basically I got each one of those nights plus a $10, like $10 extra. For 25,000 Bonvoy points.
Definitely amazing strategy. Now I see it. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. There is a method to my madness. There are a few other programs that I'll do this with. Like I was one of those people who signed up for 15 Hilton cards when they had those crazy bonuses. So I have like 1 million Hilton points and I don't really stay at Hilton's. And I find that every time I do want to stay at one, there's no availability and they want like 3 million points for my stay at whatever, right? So they're not that valuable. They don't really transfer to partners that well. You can't book vacations with them, or if you can, it's not a good value. So that's another one I'm looking into, kind of just cashing out through maybe Amazon. Some. I like to keep enough for one award stay, but I earn miles and points at a higher rate than most people because we know what we're doing. We're good shoppers. We know how to maximize.
So you don't ever transfer them to Airline Miles?
I might do that. I actually did that with Alaska to book Emirates.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was like another 150,000 I did. Yeah, I had a lot of them.
Wow. I'm impressed.
Yeah. Right. Thank you. Okay, so let's talk about hotel programs. Are there any that you're looking to cash out? Would you ever consider cashing out for a gift card or some other sort of like merchandise or, what are you thinking there?
Well, I mean, I don't like having these programs that are random with, random amounts of points that I'll never use. For me, it's like I'm saying goodbye to Radisson. And for me, my energy is mostly in keeping Marriott points, Hyatt, Hilton, and IHG. Choice hotels, I kind of have, I have them available too, but I can't remember the last time I stayed at a Choice hotel.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I got rid of all my Wyndham points. I booked everything before they devalued again, so I'm done with that. Yeah, I haven't cashed out for gift cards though. So.
Oh, okay. So you definitely, not good advice, guys, just in certain circumstances. Imagine people be like, Bethany and Angelina told us.
So now we're gonna go buy some Ulta gift cards and maybe like ShopRite.
You should definitely buy gift cards for Build-A-Bear. That's your best redemption right there.
That
Don't do that.
cut.
Okay, so are there any hotel programs that you think might not survive any of this?
No, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. I think there is still a huge market for hotel accommodations. I mean, right now, from an investment standpoint, I'm going to be jumping in on that. But yeah, I think that like Marriott, Hilton, IHG, Hyatt are all safe bets.
Yeah. I mean, even if you look at like Hilton and Marriott, they're like too big to fail, you know?
Exactly. Like their footprint is huge. Yeah.
Yeah. But Hyatt really is like, it's the one that I think that we're all sort of in the same boat where we really like appreciate what they're doing and their level of customer service. I just wish that they were bigger, though they're getting there, right? They keep acquiring like some small brands and, you know, expanding their footprint, and hopefully at one point we'll be able to give up the ones who are not as accommodating.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So speaking of that, since we have no idea like when this is going to end, are you currently booking travel? And if so, how far out?
I don't know. I'm really torn. I mean, at this point, to take a really big trip, I have to kind of coordinate it with the school schedules, which for next year. So I don't know, maybe Thanksgiving, Christmas. I'm hoping that's a safe bet, but my parents wanted to go away in either May or August. So I just, obviously I think May is just not going to happen, but
No.
I think I would hope to see things kind of back on track by July, August. So at least we can enjoy the summer. It's been a really crappy start of the year. I can't wait for it to, you know, go away.
Yep. It's so funny because everybody was like, 2020 is the year of, and now it's the year of the freaking pandemic, like an actual pandemic. I never imagined when I watched that Netflix series that like that chick who was the focal point of it, she's the head of like infectious diseases for New York hospital system. I hope that's what she is. I never like imagined that we would be seeing her on the news every single day because there's an actual pandemic. It really like makes you rethink things. Oh, that was the last topic that we wanted to talk about actually. Are you changing your credit card strategy to like move away from miles and points?
Well, obviously right now I'm not spending any money on travel. So my earnings, my earnings and my benefits are not being put to use as much as I'd like them to be. So I actually canceled the credit card last week, the City Prestige, which I knew it was coming. The annual fee, the benefits decreased. I made sure to use my airline credit before all this happened. So it was an easy cancel. I just downgraded it to City Rewards Plus card. But yeah, so I guess for premium credit cards, you have to weigh out if it's worth the annual fee, especially cards with a lounge membership. If nobody's traveling, no one's going to Admirals clubs, United clubs. So I don't know what they're doing in terms of giving statement credits or offsetting the fee, but from my understanding, I had a friend try to cancel her platinum card and they were like, okay, bye. There was no retention offer whatsoever. But for spending, I'm just spending as normal right now. I'm not doing any manufacturer spending. I'm not doing anything to generate more points than I could use. I have all those back from that big canceled trip. I definitely want to use those up before they expire, before they devalue, which is inevitable. It's going to happen. And I want to use all of the points I have with Singapore KrisFlyer, with Asia Miles, all those foreign carriers. That way I can focus on just earning ultimate rewards and membership rewards. And I transferred membership rewards to Asia Miles. That's why I have them in the first place. But now that they're back in that account, I need to wipe them. So.
Right. Oh, God, I wish transfers could go the other way. So let me ask your advice on something. So I have too many platinum cards for various reasons. And I might actually be getting a couple more because I got some upgrade offers, but I haven't been getting retention offers. So I'm currently in a situation where I have 3 platinum cards. And I obviously don't want or need them at the moment. So would you look to downgrade them and just like take a rebate on annual fee? Like I already have the business gold, but I've never had the personal. So obviously I would have to downgrade to a card that I've already had so that I didn't waste the bonus. But like, what would you do there?
All right, I'll tell you what I did. I had multiple platinums too, and I didn't want to pay the annual fee anymore because I was just using it for the Centurion Lounge access. Mm-hmm. So I canceled mine ultimately, and then I decided to be an authorized user on somebody else's, and I paid $75 for just the lounge membership, really. So I have the personal card, personal platinum card in your household or friend. You can just pay to be an authorized user. You carry that card, you get the same benefits. I steal the sex credits. I steal the Uber credits from that card. So it's a win-win for me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So even if you have the authorized user card, you can order something on Saks or the incidental credits. And yeah, I think that having 3 doesn't really make sense.
Right. Well, I didn't mean to have 3. It ended up being like an upgrade offer, and then I had gotten, so you know how they just switched the Ameriprise Platinum to a regular? I had never had the regular before. So I was like, okay, so I'm either going to lose that, but I had just taken a retention offer on that card when they announced it. So I was like, if I cancel, then Amex is going to be mad at me. And Amex is my first love in all of these programs. So I have zero interest in pissing them off, even though they're starting to piss me off because they're not giving me retention offers on cards that I've had for 10 years and I pay the freaking fee every year. And then you hear that somebody who's like their first year gold card is getting a 50,000 point retention offer.
I saw that and I was blown away. That's never even been in the same ballpark as my retention offers. It's like, oh, we can give you a courtesy $50 credit.
Yeah. And I was like, I can give you 10,000 membership rewards. And I was like, okay, I'll take it. you know, like, I'm happy with that.
But
but yeah, so I didn't mean to have that. Plus my favorite benefit is the business platinum 35% rebate.
Yeah.
Because I go to Vegas a lot. So I use it on like domestic first flights.
Yeah, nice to treat yourself. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, awesome. So tell everybody where they can find you when you're not talking to me. No. Go back. We have to do our game.
Oh boy. Should I be worried?
No. So, are you up for a little game of Plead the Fifth? And have you ever heard of it?
Well, you can explain it a little bit, but yeah, I'm up for anything.
Okay, so basically I ask you 3 questions that are ranging from like totally shady to totally fun. And you get to plead the fifth to one of the questions and only one of the questions. Okay. Are you up to play?
I'm up for it. Let's go.
Okay. All right. So let's start with, you know what? I'll give you a softball for the first one. So just so you know, they're getting harder from here. Okay. Tell me one travel blogger or somebody else in our space that gives you a run for your money as best blogger on earth.
I really love Ben from 1 Mile at a Time. He's great.
Okay. I mean, they're amazing, right? I got to hang out with Tiffany recently. I brought her coffee to suck up. Hopefully she likes me now. Yeah. Hi, Tiffany. Okay. Second question. Okay, so now let's do the opposite. Give me one travel blogger or somebody in our space who is a pandemic all on their own.
Can I plead the fifth?
Yes, you can. All right. The game is called Plead the Fifth. She's pleading the fifth. So basically she has to answer the next question.
Oh boy.
Okay, are you ready? Yeah. Shag, marry, kill.
Oof.
Ed Pizzarello. Gilbert Ott.
Okay.
And the Points of Life guy, I think his name is Alex.
Oh, Alex. I know Alex. Okay. Well, this is easy. First of all, Ed and I have already pretended to be married several times in Djibouti. We had good stories about that. Okay. I'm going to go with marrying Ed.
So that's an easy one.
I'm sure he's watching. He's probably laughing right now. But I'm gonna have to kill Alex, the points of life. And
yeah, good choice.
Gilbert for the last.
Yes. And if you didn't notice, these are all boarding area bloggers, even though I'm not on boarding area, because Angelina is one, and Miles to Memories. So I guess I kind of am, right? All right. So tell everybody where they can find you when you and I are not chatting and when you're not, doing everything you're out there doing.
Well, you can find me on the blog, angelinatravel.com, boarding area. Haven't been really updating that, but stop by.
No time like the present.
Right. And also on Instagram, Angelina Travel is there. And you can say hi on Twitter.